is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A SpaceX Starship expected to fly over the Bahamas. The TUC says it will not take part in the Labor Day parade. And the government awarded more than $15 million in contracts in March. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. This is 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesa Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, our friends at Maison Bahamas will be here to tell us about a special open house happening in the next few days. And later in business, our monthly series with SBDC, meeting a few of their recipients, the folks who are entrepreneurs, who are aspiring recipients, and more with them this morning. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 2 months after a SpaceX Starship test rocket exploded over the Bahamas, another Starship test rocket is scheduled to fly over Bahamian airspace today. The test flight, which was approved by the U.S. FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, is set to happen at 7:30 p.m. So the government in a statement yesterday saying, quote, "This will mark the 9th test flight of the Starship launch system, which forms part of SpaceX's ongoing development of next generations." According to SpaceX, the planned flight trajectory of this Starship is several 100,000 feet above Bahamian airspace and therefore does not require approval of Bahamian authorities. The statement says that as a precautionary measure and in the interest of public safety, the Bahamas Air Navigation Services Authority will issue a notice to airmen and the Port Department, a notice to mariners detailing the temporary safety zone and flight window during which these measures will be in effect. The statement says it's important to note that while the Bahamas has currently maintained a formal agreement with SpaceX for the return and recovery of Falcon 9 first-stage boosters within Bahamian Maritime territory. No such agreement currently exists with respect to Starship, and as such, this overflight will not involve any landing or recovery within Bahamian territory. So the government's also noting that the Bahamas subscribes to the Outer Space Treaty, an international framework governing space activities, including the peaceful use of outer space and the rights and responsibilities of states with respect to overflight. In April, you recall, a Starship rocket came apart shortly after its launch from Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. It scattered debris across the Bahamas and raised concern among the public over the possible environmental impact. The Davis administration publishing its public procurement list for the month of March yesterday, which reveals 221 government contracts worth more than $15 million were awarded that month. 37 of these contracts were issued through a direct award, meaning there was no competitive bidding process. Several of them were worth more than $100,000, which is the financial threshold set in the Public Procurement Act for which direct award contracts can be issued. They include two contracts each worth $208,120, which were awarded to two companies in New Providence, Plumbing Solution General Contractor, and Deep and Wide Drilling Supply. The contracts were issued by the Department of Public Works on March 4th for drilling of new drainage wells and re-drilling existing ones in New Providence. There's a whole lot more on this in today's Nassau Guardian. Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson says that his members will not take part in this year's Randall Fox Labor Day Parade after the PLP decided to turn it into a political parade. The party is preparing to launch its 2026 re-election campaign on Labor Day, June 6th. Ferguson says that Labor Day has historically been a day exclusively for workers, but that has now been misconstrued. Meanwhile, TUC Public Relations Manager Freddie Jr. says that there are several outstanding issues with the government that need to be resolved. And Ferguson says instead of attending the march, TUC members will meet at the House of Labor on Wolf Road to celebrate and discuss current matters of concern, including the failure of the government to live up to commitments made in their Memorandum of Understanding signed in 2021. A 29-year-old pump attendant charged with a stabbing that seriously injured a coworker. Chris Elliott of Seabreeze Lane was charged with the attempted murder of Samuel Duncombe when he appeared before Magistrate Shaka Serville. The incident happened on May 20th at a New Providence gas station where both men worked. Elliott was denied bail as the magistrate has no jurisdiction to consider bail for the charge. The matter has been adjourned to September 4th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. A resident of Fox Hill accused of killing a man in that area. 30-year-old Clark Ferguson is charged with the May 3rd murder of Andero Curry. Ferguson was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he made his first court appearance before Senior Magistrate Shaka Serville. He was denied bail and the matter has been adjourned to September 4th. And prosecutors opening their case against three men charged in connection with a rock-throwing spree that killed a schoolgirl in 2016 here in New Providence. Jason Petillon, Dwayne Harris Jr., and Antonio Brown face murder and causing damage charges in relation to the March 11th incident. They've pleaded not guilty to the allegations at their trial before Justice Neil Brathwaite. 16-year-old Mizlanan Bushamos, a government high school student, was headed to school on the Route 16A bus when the defendants allegedly pelted it with rocks, causing her death. The prosecution's first witness was a police officer who photographed the bus shattered of Carmichael Road Police Station. Police officer saying that she also observed 3 stones with suspected blood on the bus's interior. And members of the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee saying that they are pushing for the establishment of the Protection Against Violence Commission. The Protection Against Violence Act, which was passed in 2023, allows for the establishment of the Protection Against Violence Commission, which will work with a responsible minister to ensure that victims are treated with compassion and dignity and have access to justice without unnecessary delays. But to date, the commission has yet to be established. Overseas, British police holding a 53-year-old man today over a collision that turned a joyous soccer celebration in Liverpool to tragedy and sent more than 24 people to hospitals, 4 of them in very serious condition. Merseyside police say they are not treating the incident as terrorism and are not looking for other suspects. The force has not identified the arrested driver. Police in Britain are charged. Detectives were working to piece together how a minivan plowed into crowds packing a narrow street just after the players of Liverpool Football Club had celebrated the Premier League Championship at an open-topped bus parade. Walter Street near the River Mersey in the heart of the city was cordoned off by police tape, and a blue tent had been erected on the road strewn with the debris from celebrations, including bottles, cans, and Liverpool flags. The ambulance service saying that a total of 47 people were injured, of whom 27 were taken to local hospitals, while 20 were treated at the scene. There were no reported deaths. 4 of the injured are children. A child was among 4 victims trapped under the van that was lifted by firefighters to free them. Hundreds of thousands of folks crammed the streets of the port city in northwest England to celebrate the team winning England's Premier League this season for the record-tying 20th time. Russian forces have taken 4 border villages in Ukraine's northeastern Sumy region. That's according to a local official, days after Russian President Vladimir Putin said that he had issued an order to establish a buffer zone along the border. Sumy borders Russia's Kursk region, where a surprise Ukrainian incursion last year captured a pocket of land in the first occupation of Russian territory since World War II. Creating a buffer zone could help Russia prevent further Ukrainian cross-border attacks there. Meanwhile, a Russian bombing campaign that had escalated in recent days slowed overnight as far fewer Russian drones targeted Ukrainian towns and cities. Moscow's invasion has shown no signs of stopping despite months of intense U.S.-led efforts to secure a ceasefire and get traction for peace talks. Since Russian and Ukrainian delegations met in Turkey earlier this month for their first direct talks in 3 years, a large prisoner exchange has been the only tangible outcome, but negotiations have brought no significant breakthrough. In sports, with Bahamian professional baseball player Jazz Chisholm Jr. nearing a return, the New York Yankees could be faced with an interesting scenario at second base. Chisholm is set to go on a rehab assignment and could be back at the major league level as early as the first week in June. Bahamian star infielder suffered multiple tears to the oblique muscle on the right side of his body in a game against the Baltimore Orioles at the end of April and was originally said to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Today makes 4 weeks to the day of the injury. Chisholm is optimistic that he will return in short order. Through 30 games, he had an impressive record. You can read more about how the 27-year-old has been doing in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists in a steely performance befitting the NBA MVP. And his back from a 42-point loss by beating the Minnesota Timberwolves 128-126 in Game 4 Monday night. They've taken a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals. Jalen Williams scored 34 points on 13 for 24 shooting, including 6 of 9 from three-point range. Gilgeous-Alexander went 12 for 14 from the free throw line, making a pair with 6.1 seconds left to stretch the lead back to 3. So the Thunder just one win away from clinching the Western Conference Championship and possibly heading to the NBA Championship. The game heads back to Oklahoma City for possible closeout Game 5 Wednesday. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by the Guardian Media Group Cruise Giveaway Promotion. We've got the country on the western flank of a broad Atlantic ridge, which continues to support mostly dry and stable conditions despite odd shower activity northernmost islands. So high-pressure ridging is going to dominate the weather through to midweek, and that's going to bring mostly stable weather conditions with a shower or two here or there. Conditions may become unsettled by Friday as a frontal boundary will move near the northern islands and a mid to upper level trough will position itself across the central southeast Bahamas. That's going to bring rich tropical moisture over the area and enhance the chance for showers and thunderstorms heading into the weekend as we begin the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. So again today, heat indices will make it feel like it's in the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees, and UV indices are going to be very high. So everybody's being reminded to limit outdoor activities, stay hydrated, wear protective clothing, sunglasses, sunscreen, all of that, and hydrate as well. So for today, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, with a 20% chance of stray showers overnight for the northern Bahamas, a 10 to 20% chance for the rest of the country. Temperatures today getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit again, 33 Celsius, but it will feel a whole lot hotter, as high as 99 Fahrenheit, around 36 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77, 78 Fahrenheit, 24, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by the Guardian Media Group Cruise Giveaway Promotion, teaming up with Going Places Travel to take you on a 7-day cruise to Panama, Colombia, Curacao, and Aruba. A trip for 4 on Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas. No visa required. There are a number of ways that you can enter to win, including to stay tuned to Guardian Radio and pick up a Nassau Guardian for the entry form. The entry deadline is June 27th, and the drawing is on July 4th. Pack your bags and get ready to soak up the sun. Certain conditions of airfare, taxes, and gratuities not included. The Guardian Media Group Cruise Giveaway Promotion.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Throughout history, from bartering in ancient markets to the invention of paper currency, convenience has been at the heart of the way we pay. As time marched on, so have we. From barter to cash, whether you pay with an online bank transfer, digital wallet, or contactless card, with digital payments, options abound. The world never stops evolving, and neither should you. Choose freedom, choose flexibility, choose convenience. The future of pay is digital. Visit us online at livedigitalbahamas.com and on social media.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
BWF Pre-Inventory Warehouse Clearance Sale and Tent Sale, Friday, May 30th and Saturday, May 31st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. For the best deals you will find, shop BWF for the biggest sale of the season. Great savings, great prices. Up to 50% off Pre-Inventory Warehouse Clearance Sale, Friday, May 30th and Tent Sale, Saturday, May 31st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come on in while supplies last. Grab your bargain today. Great deals and awesome savings. Savings include appliances, hand and power tools, generator, compressors, and water pumps, welding supplies, automotive and hardware supplies, lawn and garden supplies, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, barbecue grills, household supplies, bedding and bath supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, floral decor, and so much more. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook. We ship to the Family Islands.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland.
Saturday, May 31st will be hype because the Free National Movement and Nassau top DJs are taking over. R.M. Bailey Park, Robinson Road, with the F&M Annual Fair and Raffle. Bring the whole crew. That's family, friends, and even your pets. There will be cooked and grilled food. Music by the Infinity Band, featuring Novi Pierre, plus the Pope of DJs. Tank, Select the Zone, featuring DJ Wampa, DJ Cannon, DJ T-Mac, and DJ Ace of Spades to keep the party going all day long.
It's your truly Select the Zone. Catch me live at the F&M Fair. It's going to be fun, pretty great fun activities. Also, some lucky winner is going to walk away with a grand prize drawing of $10,000. You heard it from Select the Zone. I'm fully endorsing the message. You'll catch us live. You'll come out, and some lucky winner is going to win big with the F&M.
Get your tickets from the F&M headquarters on Mackey Street or any F&M party member.
It's your boy DJ Tank, the Pope of DJ Affairs. Come meet me and Nassau's top DJs. Saturday, May 31st, R.M. Bailey Park, Robinson Road. The vibes are free, the food is hot, and the cash is real. Big money, $10,000.
Unstoppable together.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
We're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Quessa Dean. Quessa, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Tuesday.
Great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
I think this is it? Yes, the final Tuesday of May.
Time is flying, isn't it?
Wild. Wild. Almost halfway through the year. Almost.
Yes.
Can you believe it? My gosh. All right. Well, anyway, always a pleasure to be talking with you, DeQuesta. We have a lot to get to this morning. In our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with Mason Bahamas. They have an open house coming up. They're going to give us all the details about that. And later in business, it's our monthly series with the Small Business Development Center. Always a lot of exciting things to talk with them about. That's all ahead. But right now, let's get into what's in the news. And there's quite a bit to talk about, a lot going on. Just want to quickly get through a couple of stories before we get to the ones we want to focus on. But this is getting a lot of attention. Something's going on in Acklands. A report that a man was killed, a father brutally killed. This is coming from the Tribune. A father brutally killed and dismembered in Acklands on Sunday with 2 people in custody helping police with their investigations. Of course, this incident shocking the normally peaceful community there. Police did not report the incident until late last night, classifying it as a missing persons case, though. But a senior police officer confirming the killing to the paper. I'm sure we're going to learn some more. We'll hopefully learn some more over the next few days, but that is quite disturbing. Quite disturbing there. Yeah. Wow. All right. There's another story in here that's kind of interesting. So I hope you were paying attention last week. We were talking about this, that imports into the Bahamas were way up for 2024 compared to 2023. And exports were down, especially between the U.S. and China and the Bahamas, right? So our 2 largest trading partners there. So that was, not the direction you kind of want things to go. But Prime Minister Davis has an interesting take on this. So this is in the Tribune again. Prime Minister says, increased imports a sign of how well economy is doing. So a little bit from the article. Despite previously warning about the country's risky dependence on imports amid rising costs, Prime Minister Philip Davis yesterday described a recent 18% jump in imports as a sign of a strong and growing economy driven by increased demand. His comment to reporters yesterday came in response to the Bahamas National Statistical Institute report showing total imports increased in 2024. David said, quote, "We are still a consumptive society. The fact that the increase of imports are up speaks to how well the economy is doing. If we need to import more, it means that we need more because the economy is working and people are working, and that's what we need."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dwight.
I mean, it's true. It's true, but
It just sounds like Trump, but very distant.
oh boy,
It's very limited.
that's a lot.
Vocabulary. But do we have an idea of what imports have they provided? Like, I understand that it's up 18% or whatever, but what specifically?
I'll look
are
back at
those
the article,
items?
but probably everything. As we have to import almost everything. No, again, notably exports were down. Not that we export much in any event,
Right.
but the little that we do was down for 2024 compared to 2023. So that's not a good sign. If both were going up,
Right.
you might feel a little bit better, but So, according to the 2024 foreign trade figures released by the BNSI, last $20 worth of goods last year, an 18% increase from the $4.2 billion recorded in 2023. Oh, okay. So here we go. This is a little bit of what you're talking about. Machinery and transport equipment topped the import list. That doesn't mean that wasn't the only thing, right? It doesn't mean it was the only thing, but those topped the list.
Machinery and what?
Transport equipment.
Okay.
Followed by food, of course, and
Right.
live animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Live animals made the list.
Exports fell 6.4% to 689 million in 2024 from 736.16 million in 2023. Domestic exports made up 183.6 million, mainly food, live animals, and chemicals, while re-exports accounted for 505 million, primarily manufactured goods. So in contrast to his comments, Davis has previously cautioned the Bahamas about heavy reliance on imports for food and energy, highlighting the need for structural reforms to boost economic resilience. As recently as October 2024, this import-dependent model exacerbated the impact of global inflation, making prices exorbitant locally. So, asked yesterday if enough was being done to reduce the import bill, he said the government was acting where it could, but emphasized the need to focus on which imports are increasing, linking the rise to a thriving economy. Okay. All right. Well, spin it. You gotta spin it.
Because are we really positioned to be self-sustained? Like, do we have the proper land and soil and such to be able to grow more of our foods? And are we really making that a priority? I mean, these are all questions that come to my head. Or are there sufficient resources? I mean,
I think it would be a challenge, but the will is the bigger issue, right? I think not just the government has to be interested in this; the people have to. There's a lot more of us will have to get into those fields, and
right.
doesn't look like that is going to be the case without major incentives. So we've got a long way to go.
Protections, because there's a farmer that just this week you heard her pain talking about her crops being stolen on a consistent basis, and so that can be very discouraging when you're farming for sale and then you don't even make enough resources to be able to have security or to be able to safeguard your own farmland. So I think it's a lot to be considered. And farming is a lot of work, Dwight. You ever tried to grow plants, vegetables?
It is a lot of work, a lot of resources, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, water, all kinds of things, right? Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if the will is there from the people. So that's going to be challenging. We can take a few calls on this, but I want to get to some other stories in the news. 323-6232. 325-4316. Toll free 242-300-5720. This texter is asking, are imports increasing or are prices rising? Because it's more expensive to import. It's probably both. I mean, the Prime Minister is right. The people are consuming and will not stop consuming. And plenty of people tell you no matter what, they're still going to try to get what they need. So, but the prices are going up. That is true. This person says here, oh boy, the Prime Minister is the ultimate gaslighter. He honestly could make you believe up is down. And when things are bad, it is actually better for the payment people. And we should be happy about it. Well, sometimes you need that kind of cheerleader in your life. No, you got to look for the right? No? The silver lining, it could be worse type thing. No? DeQuesta, you do motivational stuff, right? No? Isn't that a good thing?
I am just killing myself laughing. I really, really am.
Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Duchess.
Good morning.
Right, Dwight, we don't have see, the problem inside this country, right, can always remain the same. Farming, being people grow up, the problem, Dwight, is the leaders, them, what kill all of the farming, Before 1992, we still was receiving products from all over this country, Dwight. But what they did, they went out of their way, to close down a lot of these things, and then turn around and tell, because for their agenda, what they have planned, they turn around and tell this story, sing this story that Bahamians don't want to do this and Bahamians don't want to do that, right? And that's what keep happening in this country, right? If our leader today don't see the
Is he there? What happened? No? Okay.
Huh?
You broke up a bit there.
Yeah, I said if our leader right today don't see the necessity for us to grow a portion of our food, right? What is the point of him being a leader? Because we could grow anything in this country. We live in 2 climates, man, and we always was growing things. So what's the difference today? Over 400 licensed farmers, and you say they don't want to grow? They don't want to grow these products to the point that they have to be competing with frivolous items coming. It kills the mindset of farmers, Dwight.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
I hear you. Wow. Well, a lot of it will come down, as you said earlier, to will. How serious we are is a good question to Quessa. We say that we are. A lot more needs to be done. Indeed. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you.
Hi.
I would like to give a quick advice to your previous caller because I really hate when I miss some of his words because he speaks a little bit too fast and he saturates his device. So maybe if he were to just slow down as he pronounced, everything would come true.
It's the passion.
So, yeah?
The passion.
So you say the passion is saturating his transistor output?
Perhaps.
Maybe, but I know the real problem, but I think it's close to that. But imports up, exports down. That's going to lead to trade deficit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to eventually lead to job losses. So we need
Where?
tariffs.
Here in the Bahamas?
Well,
I mean, that's all we've ever, many of us have ever known. What are you talking about?
But yeah, I'm just saying, if we are not exporting and we are importing, then we're going to have job losses, and we're going to have to find a way to apply some tariffs here. And we don't even... So, I would invite Donald Trump to give us a call and see if he can help us out.
No, maybe if we had a real manufacturing industry before, that would be the case. It's not been the case. So, tariffs, that's all we do. We might as well rename the place.
There you go.
Commonwealth of Tariffs.
But, Dwight, on a more serious note, you have a wonderful lineup. And I really hope and pray one day that people like you all who are so knowledgeable and practice your knowledge every day would be able to form a party to challenge these puppets that we have just playing like they know what they're doing and buying time until the next 5 years. I think you should think about it. See, my uncle used to grow a lot of tomatoes in Eleuthera to the point where he had to put them in bottles, and he showed me the trick how to do that. But canning would have been his next step. And as he attempted to do that, boy, he met so much roadblocks. Because you know what? It was such a good idea, and he was not politically connected enough to share out half of all he was doing with some puppet again. So we need real people like you who really, really value the culture and the economy of the Bahamas to be forward for us, man. I hope one day, Dwight, people like you but sit down and say, look, you have this whole group of people that come on every day, and we listen to you. We kind of gravitate to you because you're talking sense. But I hope you get a chance to think about that, right?
I hear you. Thank you very much. I think sometimes you're better suited on this side of the political fence. Not getting into that type of party talk. Some other types of parties. Sure, call me. One more call, and I do want to move on. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to Quessa.
Hi, good morning.
I'd just like
Good
to
morning.
also add a little bit to the previous caller. For many years, we as Bahamians, we have been, when I say we, I'm speaking figuratively to the Bahamian farmers and fishermen in particular, that industry, have been screaming and crying about getting proper, funding to continue their crops and everything. Just recently, at least within the past few weeks, you saw an abundance of onions grown by local. Our problem is we import so much stuff. There's no cutoff point where stuff coming into this country to give the farmers here a really fair competition in selling their wares. It is said that the Bahamian farmers, our produce is more organic than most of the imports coming into this country, but yet there's no cutoff date. When there's an abundance of onions, why are we still importing onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce? When are we going to really get serious in empowering our Bahamian people to become not just owners of their industry, but also to give them the fair market to make their money, their returns for what they have invested? And yet, I don't think the government is really going far enough to encourage even the next generation of potential farmers to really get serious into getting acres and acres and acres and acres of land to actually feed us. The problem in closing is that, we saw what happened during COVID, and we saw what happened even previous to COVID, where a nation that cannot feed itself and dependent upon other countries for then basically we are a nation. We should be able to feed ourselves adequately without having to depend on other persons, even for the basics. And that's where we need to start. But thanks for taking my call, Dwight. I'll continue to listen.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll take that one final call and read a few more messages, and then we move on. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hi, Dwight. You was reading a story earlier about you say someone lost their life in a bus, in a jitney or something, and that was a court case going on. Finished?
From a few years back, but the case is going on now.
Oh, they ain't finished yet?
No.
Right.
It just started.
Someone lost a little baby or something?
No, it was a teenager in 2016.
From in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear you. You did say the child lost their life?
Yes. Some people were throwing rocks and hit this girl who was on a bus. And she died.
Not accidentally. Somebody fighting with somebody.
No, they were just allegedly being clowns, throwing rocks, and caused her to die.
That's really sad. And then you mentioned also about the unions not participating.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a moment.
So you want me to call back on
You
that?
can call back, yeah. Okay, cool. So these messages, before we get to that story, this person says here, with regards to farming, food stores and hotels to purchase locally produced goods first and then import what is not available. If not, then farmers' goods will stay in the fields and baskets and spoil. I think that's similar to what Jeff, a previous caller, was saying. Regarding local farmers, a product grown locally in a family island is being sold for $12, and the same item in a local supermarket is selling for $5. As a consumer, I choose purchasing from the supermarket. Well, as Jeff was saying, right? How long has that been sitting on the shelf and transported in trucks across the continent?
And the preservatives.
Right, maybe. Based on something more perhaps organically grown here in the Bahamas, and so the quality is going to be a lot better. But I hear you.
And some of those same farmers are really at the farmers market every Saturday, and they have produce on sale at very reasonable prices that even rival those out.
Yeah.
So there are options to support local farmers.
This is going to take a lot of work. So the farmer's going to have to do more as well, but psychologically, we're going to have to come up with a program to get Bahamians to buy local, incentivize them perhaps, incentivize everybody. A massive campaign is going to be needed. Or we could continue to hear some unusual rationalizations about how things are really going with these numbers we're seeing, which would be entertaining, I'm sure, but hurtful probably in the long long term. All right. So there's a lot more going on in the news. The big headline in the NASA Guardian SpaceX Starship to fly over the Bahamas today. Remember the last time that happened? Well, they wasn't supposed to fly over the Bahamas, but it ended up over the Bahamas. We'll get to that in a bit. And again, remember, this is not the Falcon 9 landings. Not that. And those haven't resumed as yet either. But we'll get to that in a bit. So as Papa was saying, yes, the TUC, the Trade Union Congress, says it's not going to take part in the Labor Day parade. This is outrageous. This is unbelievable. Huh? And they're trying to hijack it. That's one of the reasons. Take a listen to this report from our Shania Roberts.
Affiliates of the Trade Congress Union will not participate in the 2025 Sarando Folks Labor Day March, according to TUC President Obie Ferguson. He says the decision to boycott is a result of the government's failure to meet the demands outlined in the signed Memorandum of Understanding. Prime Minister Davis signed the MOU back in 2021, while the Progressive Liberal Party was in opposition. Ferguson says years later, not much progress has been made.
We've been meeting with the Minister of Labor over 3 years. And there's not one union of any significance could tell you that something was done as a result of our intervention. So that being the case, if you recall, I was suggesting to my colleagues that maybe you shouldn't go there because you're not getting anything done. What you're getting is a photo. I don't know why the minister behaved the way she did. The public, oh, I'm 97%. We almost finished now. Couple more meetings, we'll be okay. Then, a couple days ago, she said she's disappointed that the agreement ain't finished.
The scheduled boycott follows an industrial strike by TUC affiliates in January, where 80% of junior doctors called in sick, 40% of consultant physicians called in, and 20% of nurses called in. The strike also resulted in the absence of 90% of air traffic controllers and the closures of schools in Grand Bahama. Public Relations Director of TUC, Freddie Munnings Jr., insisted that despite the government's claims, less than 20% of the terms of the agreement have been met.
Speak to the lack of accomplishment of the MOU, as Mr. Ferguson has introduced today. It has been stated publicly that 95% of the MOU articles have been fulfilled. That is definitely not true. We see that less than 10%. And I urge the journalists again, do your own research and you tell me or tell us if 95% of it have been achieved.
Ferguson also disagrees with Pia Glover Roll's dual role as Minister of Labor and Public Service, arguing that she cannot act objectively.
The Minister of Public Service is in conflict with the Minister of Labor. I want this to be made very clear, because we have public servants in this room. We have public servants in this room. The Minister of Labor and Public Service cannot deal with you, even though you have been doing it, because they're an employer. So how could a minister issue a strike certificate or entertain a trade dispute when against herself?
Ferguson alluded to the issue of minimum wage. He referenced Minister Glover Roll's response to a $50 minimum wage, where she described the figure as reckless. Ferguson says these comments were a slap in the face, as the current minimum wage is unlivable.
$260 is below the poverty line in the Bahamas. You know what the minister said? She said, I've been reckless to propose 350. That's what she said. But she didn't read the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed out by the Prime Minister. So if I am being reckless, the Prime Minister must also be reckless. And Fred Mitchell, sign this.
TUC union leaders are calling on all affiliates to join the union for their scheduled celebration. TUC officials say they will begin their labor celebration with a church service on Sunday. They're inviting all TUC affiliates to boycott the Labor Day March and meet at the Labor Office on June 6th. For the Guardian News Network, I'm Shania Roberts.
Okay, all right, so much to unpack there. Let's begin with the last thing you heard there about the boycott of the parade. So in today's NASA Guardian, our Caitlin Babb writing that Ferguson says Labor Day has historically been a day exclusively for workers, but that has now been misconstrued. He said, quote, Labor Day now is a political parade. That's not what we do. The people who aren't even part of a particular union, you'll see them dressed up in black and white. You'll see on Labor Day the different political colors. They aren't together. They're all fighting one another. We aren't into that. We're into helping one another. So again, they're not going to be taking part in this parade, which is really, really quite something. But let's get back, Duquesa, to what some interesting points, especially about the Minister of Labor being the Minister of Public Service, and that is quite something. I get that part, and the challenge that presents. But I do think some of the other stuff might not have been slightly unwarranted attacks on the minister. I'm not too sure. We know that the minister cannot make a decision independently of the cabinet. And so if the prime minister, well, he wasn't prime minister then, if he signed that memorandum of understanding at the time and it hasn't happened, well, there's only one person that you should blame for that. As people were telling you from then, that paper was worth not much. And so interesting. Let's get your reaction to all of this.
When you say not much, you mean nothing, right? When you say not much, you mean
well,
nothing, right?
I think people who weren't time travelers, who aren't fortune tellers, could have told them that this is not going to mean much to you in a few years. That's just the way folks make a million promises. And if you hold them to it, you're going to get your feelings hurt. And that doesn't mean they should be allowed to get away with the foolishness. But that's just how, unfortunately, it's been.
Did he say that on that agreement, or not really agreement, but this draft outline thing, that the proposal is a $350 minimum wage?
Yeah, higher than it is. And this administration has already increased the minimum wage. But it's going to take quite a bit more to get that up again right now. And I think everybody recognizes that. It will be wonderful, but it will be very challenging. Very challenging indeed. All right, so let's get your reaction to it. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free as well, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Good morning again, Dwight. I don't know if I remember Miss Dean.
Hi, yeah, she can hear you. Yes.
I didn't hear. She could hear me. Good morning, Miss Dean.
I'm actually laughing because today is Dean, but hi, good morning.
That's why I'm getting in that. Why even trying to pronounce the first name?
Okay.
Right. I know I'm right. But,
good morning.
Good morning, Mom. I'm saying, Dwight, I don't know what they're doing in Freeport, if they're doing the same thing. I mean, if the PLP going on, the thing, if the union people over there feel the same way. But I suggest, before I said it, I really disappointed. I don't know what to believe. But the man, what he named Freddie Mullins Jr., who's a part of the union, said the journalists must do their job and go and check. It's hard to believe that this woman, Glover Roll, the Minister of Labor and Public Service, was saying so long that they already do like 90% or 95%. And the man saying it ain't no true. He said they do less than 10%. So that's so sad.
Talking about the same things, unfortunately. Right? I'm not too sure. And I'm sure Freddie will correct this.
The MOU?
Right. I suspect
you
they're
better
talking
be
about the
double-check
MOU,
your
and she's talking about the issues that are on the table right now.
Yeah.
Because again, that MOU, what was that? What was that?
We ain't sure, but it sounds like they really disappointed. It ain't turned out to be too, and the Prime Minister signed it and Fred Mitchell signed it. But maybe one day you get over on, maybe, I don't know if it's too late before Labor Day, they do the church service and everything. I don't want to say, I agree with Obi Ferguson saying with boycotting it. I wish the rest of the union, Madam President Melinda Wilson, others them could do their celebration, go to their church service, go to their area. Don't participate in this foolish, call it rent a crowd, but they want 8,000 people to come with dinner. This is a union day. All right, for years, the political parties been playing a role, and the Free National Movement, the opposition, I don't know if them two won't go fight it out or see how much crowd they can get out there. But the concerns of the labor people supposed to be, this is supposed to be a day they're supposed to be celebrating. And you won't come with there, but you bring in political colors and stuff. But I really not just surprised to the Prime Minister, but I don't know what they're supposed to get out of this. I thought it's about sitting down, negotiating, working out some kind of arrangement for the workers of the country. How you could go there talking about you celebrating the PLP launch? The PLP launch of what? To defeat? Check that thing out with that woman, the label woman, please, because it's hard to believe. It sounded like she was a hard worker. She sounded like she was upset the other day when Miss Lockhart said they can't on like them children them when they go to school, the dog eat the homework. But thank God that sorted out. But see, was any truth Freddie Munnins say? Because I don't think Freddie Munnins coming to lie on this radio. Keep up the good work, Dwight.
All right, thanks a lot. Like I said, I think they're looking at it from some different angles, and so that's why they will see things differently. But hey, a few more calls. Actually, all the lines are lit up. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning. Are you there?
Again, good morning. The Bahamian people have been crying for an increase in salaries for quite some time. However, the minimum wage right now today is what's happening on the ground right now with many families in this country. Even with two parents working, it is still very difficult just to pay the bills and then put food on the table. You got to educate your children. And let's not even talking about vacation, because many families can't even afford to take vacations off this island. But I'll tell you this one thing, though. On the flip side, we have to be sympathetic to the employers as well, because they will bear a lot of the brunt of this burden. But also on the flip side, we have to recognize that these employers should also recognize that there's going to come a time when the same issue is going to come up, where there will be requests to increase salaries. The government also, that is going to be empowered at that particular time, has also got to be sensitive enough to recognize that this request is going to come, and what steps are they putting in place so when that time comes that we can have a smooth transition into these things. Bringing all the parties together on what's going to happen in the future seems to be something that is lacking in this country. And I can tell you this one thing, as a very, very concerned Bahamian citizen, born and bred in this country, having seen the systems from the 60s and to where we are today, let me tell you something. These systems today pale by comparison. I humbly believe that we should have been far ahead from where we are now. The things that we're discussing today, Dwight, that should have been discussed almost 20 years ago. And today, in the modern Bahamas, we are still going through these same things, discussing the same things from some 30, 40 years ago. Let me tell you something. My mind and my heart is troubled. Troubled. Where are the future leaders and future seekers of this country? These are the things that the Bahamian people are asking for. Who are the progressives in our country? And I'm going to tell you, this current administration is not futuristic. And I don't see any futuristic leader on who's going to move the Bahamas forward, upward, and onward. I don't see it. But let's see what happens. Who should we choose? Jesus or Barabbas? They want Barabbas, so let them have Barabbas. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. But thank you very much. Hey, I think you said something very important, though, and we got to keep, I think minimum wage is something very low-hanging that people like to latch onto. But the government, you remember this? When we were having this talk about the number of people working for the government that make minimum wage is a very low number. And people get very fixated on this. But raising the minimum wage, keep raising it, and I think there are a lot of people who make above minimum wage who are going to be squeezed because I can hear it now. Employers are going to say, well, since the minimum wage is so much higher, I'm not going to be able to increase or to give raises to some other people, right? Who are going to be stuck at this just above minimum wage thing for a long time. They probably are still there since before the pandemic, right? And so we have to be careful of the impact this has on people. And I notice it. People call talk shows to talk about the minimum wage, but in general, and not so much fixated on the minimum wage. But I guess is it sexy to talk about minimum? Maybe livable wage, like people have been talking about. That's very important, and there's plenty of people not making a livable wage here,
right?
And but they're making more than minimum wage,
yeah,
but they're still not making a livable wage.
Though, what is a livable wage here in the Bahamas?
Well, it depends on where you are. Mm-hmm.
But that's an important question.
But as the Prime Minister mentioned, with more imports. The economy must be doing well, so the people are living
Our Prime Minister also
fine.
needs to understand that there are so many imports because people are trying to stretch their dollars. People are choosing to, shop abroad and bring in whatever they need to bring in to save $1 or $2, even if it's just $5. So I can't just say that, the economy is doing so well. It's also in that number of people bringing in things are also people who are just really trying to make ends meet.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Let's take these calls. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
I always find it funny that people still don't understand that our promise is the comfort of food. And paper will lay down and let anyone write whatever they want on it. And these guys always getting swinged by whatever political party wants to get into office and promise them the world and deliver nothing. But at the end of the day, if you don't hold people accountable for the promises they make, nothing will ever change, and that's what happens. Now, I don't blame the union for boycotting the Labor Day parade because it's been moving in a political direction for years. Hey, none of us are going to participate if the Prime Minister, whoever's in power, is going to make it into a political rally. But see, they're not going to do that because they want to gain favor with the Prime Minister and get a little scraps from the table. Now, in terms of the minimum wage sounds good when it's raised, but what happens is that the cost of living also goes up because employers charge more for items, rent goes up, products goes up, they cut your hours to suit the minimum wage. Like, minimum wage is just a false hope that persons give others to make them feel, hey, you're making more money, so your living condition should be better. But if your rent goes up, you get the raise, but you know what I'm saying? You still end up in the same position you're always in. Yeah. So the trick is to minimize the cost of goods and the cost of living, also to compete with the minimum wage rise. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is this accurate? I'm getting a text. This is accurate? Mr. Producer, you heard a message from a big Saxon. The Saxon Superstars will not be the Labor Day Parade. You heard that? He doesn't know about it. Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Why? What are the reasons? Same reasons? Because of the political? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Cousin Dwight.
How are you doing?
Wonderful. Good morning, Duquesa.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. Grammy boy ain't called the cape for nobody this morning, GNN. Grammy tell me, the truth don't need no legs, extra legs to stand up on. It can stand up by itself. The Bahamian people, we forget too much. We need ginkgo biloba. The mess that you see Obi is embarking on is the mess he got himself and the unions in. Obi Ferguson and Fred Munnings. That is why the Labor Parade was split for many years because of the FNM affiliation with the TUC and the other faction was on the other side.
What?
That is why that parade turned into what it turned into. So I don't want Obi be calling the radio shows on the talk shows like he's no angel. He's no savior. Obi Ferguson said more than 15 years ago when I was a trade unionist that he would never lead his union against the PLP. So Dwight, please tell me what happened. To Quessa, what happened?
Interesting.
Anybody know?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Exactly. Obi Ferguson and Fred Mannix created this mess in the unions. There was never a time, it was a time when the unions used to be together because we used to always be on the parade as Junkanoo and Boys Brigade. They got it so bad that some affiliated with certain parties ain't coming out Labor Day, and that is bad. Obi Ferguson needs to be fired from that union for many years now. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, who's going to do that? So Saxon's update. They're traveling. No brass. They'll be on vacation. Do they all take vacation together? That's how that works? Oh, does that explain their successes at Boxing Day?
Oh, maybe
here?
they just
Or
doing
Unified?
taking a nice trip together. That's nice.
Oh, well. Okay.
Culture is everything, you know.
Hey, man.
Maybe
Hey.
they're building culture.
Hey.
Yeah, I love it.
It's beautiful. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight.
Hi.
DeQuesta, how y'all doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, DeQuesta. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Good. And good morning to the nation. Couple comments on a couple of the areas you spoke about, Dwight. Let me start with the last thing that you were talking about as it relates to imports, right? That conversation is not as simple as it's being presented, right? Because when you look at the cost of living, the hike in the cost of living, that it didn't just begin with the tariff wars, right? The hike in the cost of living has been going on for a while now, right? And of course, we could link things back to COVID-19 and when the economy was shut down, as I always revert back to, and realize the fact that a lot of persons still haven't caught themselves as yet. A lot of persons would have taken massive losses, and some losses, some persons or many persons will not recuperate from because of the age factor and the time factor and all those kinds of things that go into considerations at the bank levels, right? Import to a large degree is as a result of persons trying to find a more affordable cost for the very same product that they could have perhaps afforded right here in our own country.
Okay, so you are disagreeing with the Prime Minister who says
So,
that
well,
the increase in imports are a sign of how well the economy is doing.
What I want to do, Dwight, is open up the conversation rather than agree or disagree, right? I want to present more angles to the conversation that are plausible, that are viable, that are rational, rather than presenting the position of agreeing or disagreeing, right? Also, in addition to that, Dwight,
Are you doing that with the right people? Because perhaps you need to have a meeting with the Ministry of Finance. Because
This is the right
this is
forum.
an unusual
Dwight,
thing to
believe it-
say,
Dwight.
because we all know there are many more reasons than what the Prime Minister was
Can you hear me,
saying.
Dwight?
We can hear you. We don't know if we
Okay.
want to listen to this.
Believe it or not, this is the right forum, Dwight, okay? This is the right forum.
I think everybody knows what you're saying. Everyone agrees. We're a little baffled by what the Prime Minister said. That was a bit strange.
So going back to what I'm saying, Dwight, in addition to that, right, most of the persons coming into our country far outnumber the population of our country, right, by many folds over. You want to take a closer dive into that conversation, you have to be able to differentiate the import to cater and service the market that is visiting the country versus the imports to cater and service those persons within country who are looking for a more affordable product, right? Or to maintain the same quality of life using the same quality of products at a much more affordable cost. Moving on to the next point, Dwight.
Why did you say all that? We understand this. People get it. But this is the point we're making, that it does not necessarily mean that the economy is doing very well if your imports
I
are
don't
increasing.
disagree with you.
Mhm.
I don't disagree with you.
Right. Okay.
I do not disagree with you, Dwight.
Yeah.
I just choose to word what I'm saying a little different.
We got to stop playing games. We got to stop playing games. This is not the thing to say,
I'm
right?
not playing
And I think
games.
this was a very reckless thing that the Prime Minister said. That this is not.
I'm not going
that's
that
not.
far to say that, Dwight.
Hmm.
But let me just
It's
move on.
spin, and spin is not what we need right now. But
I
anyway.
agree with you.
Mhm.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there entirely, Dwight.
Okay.
Times are too serious. Moving on to my next point, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at what's happening in our and this goes back not just to this administration. This goes back to the previous administration and previous successive administration, right? We are always having the conversation of trying to balance the budget, right? Or trying to reduce deficit, which is good in and of itself, right? But is it good enough? No, it is not good enough. Reason why I'm saying that, Dwight, we need to expand our thinking into think. The government of the Bahamas has the single biggest responsibility to create the direction upon which whatever is necessary can be afforded by the private sector. The government and the government alone has that single biggest responsibility to create an environment in which if the analysis shows that the cost of living is so high, and to your question, the question, it's around $2,500 to $3,000 to be able to afford to live in the over the hill community, based on a study done by the University of the Bahamas, right? I think Chicago's grouping was involved in that study that was undertaken, but persons like myself and others were long a part of those conversations, right? Until UB, our premier university, the baton to create that
Okay,
study.
we're running out of time.
and
We're
provide-
running out of time.
Pardon me?
We're running out of time. We got to make it
Yeah,
really quick.
I'm going to
Mhm.
conclude right now. And so, if the government of the Bahamas does what it's supposed to do, it wouldn't be as difficult to maintain or reduce costs where possible as it relates to inflation and the cost of living. But also, it wouldn't be as difficult for employers to consider those increases necessary incrementally to bring the labor force up to the standard where it can actually afford to live and thrive in our own country. And
Okay.
that's where we need to moving forward, instead of just simply talking about balancing the budget and reducing the deficit. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
Okay. Hi. Let's take a break. We'll pick this up on the other side, and a Starship flyover on the other side as well. This is Morning Blend on a Tuesday morning, final Tuesday of May 2025. We'll be right back.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
Your first look at traffic for the morning brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. We've got an alert for you about some work that's going to be taking place today, and you might need to avoid this area if you can. So this is going to be on Twin Close off Robinson Road. And that work's going to be taking place on Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And they're also asking, this is what needs to happen today, residents in the area to remove all vehicles from the road. If a vehicle is unable to be removed, the Ministry of Works will assist in removing it to a central location in the immediate area. But they're warning that they're not going to be responsible for any damage to any vehicles during the moving process. So move that now before the work can begin tomorrow. This is Twin Close again off Robinson Road. In your real-time traffic right now, as usual, we've got a couple of hot spots to tell you about. Like Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic this morning from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight through to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. And you're going to be seeing traffic backed up along Tonic Williams Darling Highway as well. Blue Hill Road looking busy for you from north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive and north and south of the street. Mainly northbound, you're going to be seeing some slow-moving traffic as well. And then we've got pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, and on the Eastern Road as you approach Fox Hill, some slow-moving traffic there, but manageable, not like what we see often at this hour. Shirley Street looking a bit slow-moving for you, west of Village Road on the way to Mackey Street, slow-moving westbound traffic. And building traffic along West Bay Street near Saunders Beach and New Providence Highway, and east of Arawak on the way to Nassau Street if you're heading eastbound. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Remember that with RBC, your ideas happen here. We're back after the news with more Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way? Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
We heading in deep space. Oh, we heading in deep space. Look ya, old girl, throw that boom, see young girl, wind your waist. Get ready for the countdown. We heading in deep space. See, I am Captain Kirk. Come board my rocket ship. Buckle up, let's ride. Get ready for the lift. I want to show you what the planets fly you to the moon.
We are back with Morning Blend 9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesne Dean on this Tuesday morning. We are talking about what's in the news. And we're going to move on to SpaceX in just a bit. Just want to get through some of these text messages that came in before the break, Duquesne. Talking about the Labor Day parade, people talking about minimum wage, and the TUC critical of the government not moving, even though we just recently had an increase in the minimum wage. But they want it to be higher, and they want it now. So, yeah. So these messages here, this person says that $350 per week is less than $20,000 annually. It's crazy that is being considered too much. Well.
Say it again.
The person says that it's still not enough, basically. It's still not enough. This person says here, it's the solution is not raising the minimum wage. That will lead to higher costs everywhere and more problems. We need to focus on moving the people at minimum wage to better skills so their qualifications earn them a higher income and also provide a benefit in either greater earnings or cost savings to cost savings. Where did it go? Cost savings to the business. Okay, so let's pause right there. I'm going to get back to your message. But who's the we? We need to focus on moving the people at minimum wage. We or they? We need to go to them and say, hey, you, is it we or they? I mean, maybe it is we, but
It's both.
are they going to do it? Are they interested in doing it?
Right. They have to want it first. And then we can help them. But yeah.
I mean, the help is out there. The help is out there. But do they want it? Because they don't have to be there for 50 years. But anyway. All right. The minimum wage jobs are then left for college students. Our problem is for 50 years, every government has dangled minimum wage dead-end jobs as evidence of action. That is true. It's better than no job, but we can't move forward with a society on 90% low-wage hotel work. This is no longer the 90s where tip income more than doubles your base salary. Well, I hear you. They emphasize it as we. Okay, I hear you. But they got to be interested, too. They have to want it, too. We cannot,
Correct.
Right
They
as
have
they
to
say,
want it.
we can't drag this horse and make them drink the water. They gotta want it too. All right, our friends to remind the TUC that if you play with puppy, they lick your mouth, and then they say, but these women, oh boy, can't have a gang of children, not develop themselves and still expect to make ends meet. If they want to make a livable wage, don't have a team of kids.
I mean, let me don't play into him this morning. Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
Men, women. If you can't afford it, be mindful of that.
I guess
right?
she had that kid on her own. She used artificial sperm.
She imported the child. That's what
Right.
That's why the imports
she
up.
didn't have a partner. Right.
No.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Imported, and they can't afford it. Right. Yeah. So wait. Okay. This person says here, the only union I respect is Belinda Wilson's union. She is beat up on both governments. She is for the people, not a political puppet. Okay. Here, I need to find it. In any event, they were saying whatever the minimum wage is right now, even the one that's being proposed, just remember that a gallon of gas is way more than the minimum wage per hour, right? So it's been that way for a long time, and that is quite something. I agree with you, Texter. Okay, callers, I see you, but we'll get back to you in a second. I just need to get to this story really quickly. All right, so SpaceX Starship to fly over Bahamas. Travis Cartwright Carroll writing about it today. 2 months after SpaceX Starship test rocket exploded over the Bahamas, another Starship test rocket is scheduled to fly over Bahamian airspace today. The test flight, which was approved by the FAA, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, is set to happen at 7:30 p.m. So the Bahamian government in a statement yesterday saying, quote, this will mark the 9th test flight of the Starship launch system, which forms part of SpaceX's ongoing development of next-generation space transportation. According to SpaceX, the planned flight trajectory of this Starship is several 100,000 feet above Bahamian airspace and therefore does not require approval of Bahamian authorities. As a precautionary measure, and in the Services Authority will issue notice to airmen and the Port Department, a notice to mariners detailing the temporary window during which these measures will be in effect. So the statement says that it's important to note that while the Bahamas currently maintains a formal agreement with SpaceX for the return and recovery of Falcon 9 first stage boosters within Bahamian maritime territory, no such agreement currently exists with respect to Starship test flights. As such, this overflight will not involve any landing or recovery within Bahamian territory. Well, no intentional ones. The government noted that the Bahamas subscribes to the Outer Space Treaty, an international framework governing space activities, including the peaceful use of outer space and the rights and responsibilities of states with respect to overflight. As you may recall, in April, a Starship rocket came apart shortly after its launch from Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. It scattered debris across the Bahamas and raised concern among the public over the possible environmental impact. Debris from the rocket was found around Ragged Island and Crooked Island. Nothing, though, and was paid for by SpaceX. That's the government reminding you that SpaceX paid for the cleanup of whatever they found, which might not have been everything. The Bahamas has an agreement with SpaceX that allows the company to land its Falcon 9 first-stage booster on its drone ship in Bahamian waters. The first Falcon 9 first-stage rocket booster landed in Exuma in February. 19 more landings are planned. However, the program has been put on pause until SpaceX turns in its post-landing report and environmental documents from its first exercise. And then it would receive the green light, possibly from the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, to continue with those. Okay, so interesting stuff. One, but everyone's on notice. Everyone's been told and warned. What do you think about that? How do you feel? 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-479. 4259. What did I mean? Oh, 424. Okay. The question. Any feelings on it, or what?
Not really, honestly. Not that SpaceX cleaning up the debris means anything. We have no idea what damage the debris would do to the marine life or our seas or any land and we probably won't know for years ahead. So I don't really think that point just because they're paying for the cleanup means that it's okay. I also just don't understand how much control we have over it, considering
nothing at all.
It's not really in our airspace.
No control.
Right. What they're saying is, hey, this isn't in your airspace. You don't have any say in this. So, what could you really do?
Yeah. Well, we can hope for the best and hope that they don't explode and that they will do what they're supposed to do and put up all the Starship thingies, whatever they're called, and we don't have an issue, right? I guess. Yeah. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, I'm Dwight and Sequester again.
Hi.
Look, with reference to this, what is it? SpaceX?
SpaceX Starship, yeah.
SpaceX Starship. That statement doesn't make sense at all, Dwight.
The statement from the government?
Yes, from the government, stating that we have no control. Before I get into what I want to say, Dwight, this only goes to show you are negotiating versus, or you saying or who you consider to be your good negotiators versus these international negotiators who seeks to do things in our space or in our terrain or whatever the case may be, right?
Well, it's space, and that's controlled by the FAA. It's space. It's not like the regular airspace. It's not regular.
Right? Understand this.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens 200,000 feet or whatever it is above our airspace, it can still impact what is happening in our airspace. Therefore, it makes no sense. That statement makes absolutely no sense. Now, if you can demonstrate scientifically, factually, that any explosion or any mishap or anything that happens above our airspace by this SpaceX launch, and it would not impact in any way, shape, or form anything happening within our airspace or within our atmosphere, then that would make sense. But that cannot be demonstrated, Dwight. That would not be able to be demonstrated. Therefore, that law is a flaw with no sense. And the next point I want to close on, Dwight. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look, with reference to your closing out statement before you, or your closing out text, before you went on to this SpaceX matter, this nonsensical SpaceX matter, claiming to be out of our airspace, but could still damage things happening in our airspace, which is asinine, right? You would have closed out on statements that were not from yourself, but from persons texting in, right? That didn't make any sense, and that were conflating the issue, confusing the issue, rather than bringing clarity to the issue. Look, minimum wage
or livable wage is a standalone issue. It has absolutely nothing to do with what education you have. It has absolutely nothing to do with how many children you have. Persons texting in saying have less children makes absolutely no sense, because we are in an environment, Dwight, if you want to look at that point as a standalone point, we are in an environment where we don't have enough persons operating or working in the labor force in our country in order to meet the NIB fund, in order to keep it afloat, in order to keep it in a positive direction.
Well, we can live for that. You can't have make decisions based on that. You got to make decisions
but
based on what you
understand
can
the point.
afford to do.
Understand the key point, Dwight. The key point being, livable wage has absolutely nothing to do with if you have 10 or 12 children, because even if you look at it from that perspective, if you have 20 children as a mother or as a father and mother, right? And 20 of those kids are making livable wage, it means that 20 of those kids will be able to afford to live in that society, if you want to break it down from the reverse perspective, which shows the nonsensicalness in the statement to begin with. It makes absolutely no sense, and I'll end right here. It's conflating issues, and it's not addressing the single issue of we need to move in the direction of a livable wage in this country. People need to start thinking before they speak. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
Okay. Well, let's take this final call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I'm trying to sort through what Antoine was saying. Dwight, just on considering the space, it isn't the FAA that controls the space about airspace. I think it's the International Civil Aviation Organization, part of the UN or something of that sort. And it involves a lot of different laws. The laws are intellectual property law, arms control law, environmental law, commercial law, so much different things that we don't talk about. So I don't see exactly, when you talk about the agreement we signed, we may have signed the agreement, but I doubt anyone in the Bahamas who's in charge of that agreement would have actually read it and the impact of it. That's why when we talked about the so-called space industry, I picked up a brown bag so I could gag and laugh. Mind you, I'm no expert. I'm just informed on a number of things. But Dwight, when you talk about this livable wage, do you know inflation since 2012, January 2013, when we did the first cost of living survey, has went up 26.6% or 26.5%, just for inflation alone without the other adjustments. So even the 4,000, I think it was 4,000, 42.49 or 42.48 that they say you needed a year to qualify back then in 2013 for line. But at the same time, how we talk about this $10,000 a month that's needed for middle class and $5,000 a month, at that same time, the exact same number, 42.49, is what was needed just for an individual, for a family to live. Because we're saying the 60,000 now, it was 53,000 then. So I'm saying I think it's even more significant than the 60,000. But when you talk about livable wage, we need a wage-based calculation more than the livable wage. You know, there's a list of every single job there is practically in the world already been classified by code. So what we need is to determine those codes that applies to the Bahamas or what eventually will be needed, and put a base salary line, like a minimum wage or whatever, and those particular things once you have achieved this certification or whatever qualifications to be in that particular level. So oftentimes we talk about one-offs as if it solves a problem, because when you move the livable wage, it still doesn't address anything about. But just let me say,
really quickly, we're running out of time.
I'm hoping tomorrow that we are ignoring the fact that we're moving into a new budget cycle with an energy problem, a public health problem, an education problem, a housing problem, a job deficiency, a food crisis, a national security crisis, immigration crisis, national debt crisis. And so hopefully beginning tomorrow when the Prime Minister brings his smoke and mirrors, that we can actually dive deep in, and we need to get through the fluff and actually have some
You think that's going to happen? Okay.
No, we could drive that. We could drive that, and definitely I would like to speak on what's called a database dialogue, rather than people who say, I think, I feel, I believe, I heard.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation on what you know.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll take this call really quickly. You got about 30 seconds, caller. Really quickly. Got to get it in.
Pleasant. Good morning, Dwight.
Really quickly.
Yes, Dwight. Dwight, a lot of people ask me this particular question, and seconds, tell you, Dwight. I wonder, Dwight, sometimes some of the people, you're the station manager. Some of the people that call in here, and you can call them chronic callers, that call in here constantly, call back, say what they want to say.
You sure this is what you want to use your 30 seconds to talk about? No? Okay. I don't think that's a good use of your limited time today. But we got a text here saying that, instead of talking about all of this, we need to focus on bringing down the cost of living, right? And I think that is a very, very key thing here. Just really amazing. There's an ad in the paper today about a restaurant that is offering a special. And the same restaurant in the U.S. talked about the special over there. It's the same specials. The price for the special here is, no, I'm not kidding, double the price it is over there. It's the same money. I got to tell you, it's Duquesa. It's not as good service, and it's less fresh ingredients. But anyway, double the price. Double the price. What's that about? Even if you're making double the minimum wage, it's still going to be a hard bargain. Yeah. We've got a lot of issues to deal with. Let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Coming for a landing, making my approach. Someone eating in the cockpit, man, all I see is them little behemoth roach. Look, I won't be no track star, I won't win no race. I just want to be the first Bohemian to get them out of space. Imagine a house on the moon, one nice little clapboard shack, 2-foot cake in the front yard and one outside toilet and back. We heading in deep space. We taking big and space. Yes, we heading in deep space. We taking big and space. Look, yo.
Boys, so glad you made it to Dad's birthday dinner.
Thanks, Mom. This gift is from me.
And me too?
No way.
Fine.
Hi, boys. Who's messaging? Oh, it's a deposit from CIBC Caribbean First Pay from Ricardo. Son, you're so thoughtful.
He sure is.
For quick transfer with just an email, mobile number, or QR code, use First Pay from CIBC Caribbean. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com/ways to bank for more information.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
The 2025 Samuel P. Hagan High School Soccer Nationals are here. May 15th through 16th in Grand Bahama. May 21st to 30th in Nassau at the Roscoe A.L. Davies Field. Top teams from Nassau, Freeport, Duncan Girls, and J.S. Johnson Boys Division. Calling all junior Junction groups. Come out, bring the vibes, and rep your school. Inclusive matches, music, food, and family fun daily. Gates open at 3 p.m. Visit BahamasFA.net. Be there.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece.
Visiting telephone 302-2361.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our members, We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again from the island that gives you mince mutton, okra soup, and of course flour cake and rake and scrape. It's the 26th annual Cat Island Rake and Scrape Festival in beautiful Artistown, Cat Island. June 6th through 8th, we have acts such as Veronica Bishop,
He come here with the hands swinging.
Chino D, Stelito, Cupid, and of course our very own down-home guys like Lassido and the Boys,
I don't like no rigging and scraping in here.
Ophi and the websites, and much more in beautiful Artistown, Cat Island. June 6th through 8th. See you there.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Bahamas.
Got your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple. We've got the Bahamas on the western portion of a broad Atlantic ridge that will continue to support mostly dry and stable conditions, despite some quick passing showers. High pressure will dominate weather across the country through to about midweek, and that's going to bring mostly stable conditions with a few showers or afternoon thunderstorms here and there. Conditions are going to be more unsettled, though, by Friday, as a frontal boundary will move near the northern Bahamas and a mid to upper level trough will position itself across the central and southeast Bahamas. That's going to bring rich tropical moisture over the area. And that's going to shower activity, showers and thunderstorms over the weekend as we start the Atlantic hurricane season for 2025. Before we get there, though, feel like temperatures are going to be in the upper 90s, if not 100, and the UV indices is going to be very high as well. So all that means you're going to need to drink plenty of water, stay in the shade, wear protective clothing, sunscreen, sunglasses, and take some breaks if you are working in the sun. So for today, mostly fair conditions, but a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. A 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers, especially in the afternoon. Slightly higher percentage of rain chance for the extreme northern islands. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but it's going to feel a whole lot hotter, maybe as high as 98, 99 Fahrenheit, 36 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, we are looking at partly sunny to sunny conditions, turning mostly fair at night. That's for tomorrow, Wednesday. By Thursday, a mix partly cloudy at night. Friday, partly sunny, turning mostly fair at night, but rain chances going up 20 to 30 to 40% by the time we get to Saturday, as we have partly cloudy conditions for most of the weekend into the start of the work week on Monday. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Dull walls bringing you down. Well, Sherwin-Williams has the cure. Don't have your place looking toe up. Get that glow up with the superior quality of Sherwin-Williams Paints.
be surrounded by a million people. I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. Oh, I miss you, you know.
And we are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And it's our monthly series with Maison Bahamas. And they got a whole lot of exciting things going on. Ryan Winters is back with us to tell us more about it. Good to see you again. Welcome back to the show. Good morning. Let's get your mic. There you go. All right. So you got a lot going on. The big thing, though, is the open house.
Correct.
Tell us about that. That's coming up in just a few days.
So, yes, exciting thing. So, Windsor Lakes, Bahamas. So if we've been on speaking about Windsor Lakes a few times. We have an exciting update this weekend. And we're excited to announce a few things. So we know all along we are heavy in the infrastructure mode. So everything in Windsor Lakes is underground. So all the utilities, all the water, all the fiber, and so it's an underground utility community, and that's really a great thing in these times, with hurricanes.
Especially hurricane season starting.
Exactly. So now that's completed. So we're excited that that's completed. Construction has started and road paving has begun. So now we're going to be seeing black road in the community, right? And so for a long time, a lot of people were antsy. When is it going to start? When is construction going to start? When are the roads going to start? So now is the time, right?
Yeah.
And so we're excited to bring people in and tour smooth roads, at least partly until it's completed. Tour on smooth roads now, and then tour the community. So if you haven't had an opportunity to come out and tour Windsor Lakes as yet, this Saturday at 11 to 3, we will be down. So we invite you to come out. We'll have light refreshments. We'll have the opportunity for you to speak with the bank, tour the community, learn more about it, learn about the construction options. So we have developer constructed homes, as well as you can bring your own contractor, all right? So you're not locked in, so you have that ability. So this Saturday at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., we'll be down at Windsor Lakes.
Yeah, so what exactly would you get to see on Saturday? What will be there for you?
Like I mentioned, you have opportunity to discuss financing options with the bank. You are going to see some of the amenities that are erecting. So the pool is cut and dig. You're going to be able to see some of the roads and tour some of the roads that have the various types of lots. So we have two types of lots, obviously. We have multi-family and single-family lots. We also have lakefront lots. And so when I say lakefront lots, those are around 3 community lakes. There are going to be walking trails in the community, so persons, once their home is done, you're going to be able to look out your back door or your kitchen window, look over the lakes, exercising around the lakes. You're going to be able to tour that. We also there's also construction on the site as well, so you'll be able to see a little bit of that. Like I said, it's just started, so it's early days still. But it's still an opportunity just to come out and get a sense of the community, get a sense of where it's going to be. Obviously, Adelaide is a historic community, and so we are proud to know that we are located there. We're excited to invite people out.
Yeah. So when do you think someone might finally be able to move in? What are the timelines you're looking at?
So actually, by early spring, we are imagining that the first set of homeowners may be starting to move in.
Yeah.
Late spring, I would say. Late spring
next year.
Late spring. So the developer is actually projecting to complete by early spring all the amenities. The security is already in. Like I said, the pool is done. It's dug. And then the clubhouse and all of that is going to be beginning soon as well. So by early spring, the developer will be doing a handover, and then simultaneously construction is happening as well for persons to eventually move in.
Wonderful. So
I'm Ryan. Where did you say it?
Where? So Windsor Lakes is in Adelaide Village. So if you're traveling on Adelaide Road, you pass Cole Harbour, you pass Frank Watson Boulevard. Right there opposite the eastern gate of Albany is where the main entrance to Windsor Lakes is. So 65 acres, 173 lots, 36 multifamily, 136 single-family lots. So great community living. It's one on the rise. A lot of buzz happening now in town, with the scarcity of quality land,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And where can you find out more information about it?
So on our website, we have a dedicated page to Windsor Lake. So Maison Bahamas, that's MAISON Bahamas.com/Windsor Lakes.
Okay. And you don't need an appointment, just show up? Or
we are sending out some email blasts. So you do have the opportunity to get to RSVP. You can also do that on our website. That allows us to schedule you for tours. We do allow a few tour opportunities. So if you do RSVP, you first preference.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So we do recommend that.
Question.
Sure.
So
Is it possible to give us an idea of the starting costs
Mhm.
of lots? Also, if there will be in-house financing options?
Definitely. So there's no in-house financing, but we are partnering with most of the major commercial banks, and they're offering as low as 3.95%, which is pretty
that's
good.
good.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. And in addition to that, they're also offering a whole suite of incentives, depending on the bank, of course. But lot prices started right now at about 257, and that's 257 for a single family, and then the multifamily is around 300,000 for the multifamily lots. They are triplex lots, so it's a great opportunity. So just to be frank, we know it's not a cheap thing. You know,
Right.
land in this country now is elevated in prices. But
Right.
I always tell persons, you know, if you look back at the prices of land and comparison to what it is now, you know, and we're still in the early stages of the development, so we do know that there will be a lot of capital appreciation in that investment.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so it's an investment in the future, right?
Yeah. And you said some of the financial institutions will be
Yes,
there
they'll
on
be
Saturday.
present. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great stuff. So Windsor Lakes is exciting, but you've got other developments
Yes,
that sound
yes.
pretty cool as well.
Yeah, so since I've been in real estate, so new development has kind of been my specialty, right? So I have an exciting new development to announce as well. It's called Still Lake, so another lake, another lake-involved community. This one is very exciting as well. These are 18 turnkey townhomes, right, in the Cable Beach area. So, you know, there's a lot of momentum and buzz about the West, right? So you see the West continue to develop. So 18 townhome units in the Cable Beach area, Devonshire Street 2 to be exact. And these 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath units will have a suite of amenities as well. So you're going to have a swimming pool, kids playground, you're going to have security, it's gated, standby generator, and these pricing start at $549.
Okay.
All right? So it's a good attractive price point as well, and so we imagine that demand for these would be very high. So it's very early in the. I hope I don't even get in trouble for announcing this. All right, but we are very early in the stages of Still Lake, but we are having consultations and units pre-construction.
Oh, so construction hasn't started yet.
So construction will be starting in the first week of June. And because it's only 18 units, we know that, you know, they're going to be moving quite swiftly.
Wow. And you said how many bedrooms? 3
bedrooms,
Wow,
2.5
okay.
baths.
So these are pretty good size.
Yeah, good
units.
size for young families, you know, married couples, young professionals, even investors.
Yeah.
So one of the good thing about this community and the area is it will be Airbnb friendly if you want to purchase for an investment. We will have certain controls in place, of course, but it's a great community for the long term. And if you know Cable Beach area, it's a thriving community. We have a lot of properties over the $1 million plus.
Yeah.
But definitely at $549, this is an attractive price point for Bahamians and everyone at large.
Yeah. And again, you said Devonshire. Where
So
exactly is it?
Devonshire Street. So you know Devonshire Street, you could access from a few of the roundabouts. I think it may be the third street in on the left side of Cable Beach. So Devonshire Street, Cable Beach.
Okay. And when do you anticipate construction will be starting?
So construction will start on those.
Oh, you said first week in June.
First
when
week
will be
in June.
finished?
So about a year completion
Okay.
timeline. About a year completion. And so let me give the website for that as well. So the website to learn more about that development is called Still Lake Bahamas, STILL LakeBahamas.com.
Okay. All right. Wow, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so you know, my phone has been ringing quite a bit already. I've announced it kind of softly. But, you know, now I'm not really publicly. I hope I don't get in trouble. So Dwight, if I don't come back, you know, it was a
We'll know
pleasure.
what happened.
It was a pleasure being on radio and with you.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, wow. So anything else out there? Anything else that people should be paying attention to?
Yes. So lastly, I'd like to announce today. So you know, one of the last times I was on, I spoke about the Solis Plaza on Carmichael. Carmichael is a really bustling area right now.
I've seen it since you were on.
You've seen it.
It's
right?
really nice.
Right. And you see one of the anchor stores to come now is IOP.
Right.
So that's good. So a lot of businesses are now seeing the potential of Carmichael Road area. So a lot of the business now have 2 locations. You know, a lot of the fast food chains have multiple locations, right? And so I'm presenting another opportunity, an acreage opportunity for development. It could be restaurant, it could be, you know, a whole suite of things. It's a 3-acre property actually, that we do have available, and the seller is willing to sell, break it down into a 2-acre or sell it as a 3-acre property. So that's an exciting thing I like to announce, as well as, more business continues to develop on the Carmichael Road Strip. So this one is it's right between the Solace Plaza where the IHOP is, and then right between the Solace Plaza and where the new Dairy Queen is. So that's almost by the detention center corner.
Okay.
All right.
This is on the southern side of the street?
Yes.
Southern?
Yeah, that would be the southern.
Yeah.
No, that would be the northern side.
Northern, okay.
On the northern side, yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that'll be on the northern side. And it has 221 feet of road frontage, so it's a great opportunity for development.
Okay, excellent. And they should contact you.
Definitely, definitely. My number, feel free, it's 544-5860. So any one of those opportunities that you may be interested, or anything else, feel free to reach out. Like I said, Windsor Lakes Open House is coming this Saturday. The Still Lake development, we're excited to announce that. Feel free to browse our website or reach out to me, or any other real estate opportunities.
Right. And Solace Plaza sold out? Or?
Sold out.
Oh, wow.
Sold out.
Okay,
Wow.
that's great.
Wow.
That's some good stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
Sold
wow.
out. So persons are taking advantage of the opportunity to get in business. I know people always complain about how tough it is, but we still have a lot of resilient Bahamian entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to announce that outside of IOP, every other business is a Bahamian, small business that are taking the lead and
Oh, that's
launching their
great.
business. Yeah.
Excellent.
So right before, I don't know if you're leaving, but right before you go,
Sure.
In advertising for Windsor and also for the condos that are in Cable Beach, you
Mhm.
spoke to some of the amenities that both properties will provide.
Yeah.
Can you speak more to the philosophy behind all of the added things like the pool and the
Mhm.
lakes that you could walk around? What's your company's philosophy or belief that has caused you to implement those sorts of things for your potential client?
So we pay attention to the market, right? So obviously, a lot of the developers that we work with, we advise them, right? They come to us. Obviously, a lot of people explore the world. They go out and they see how things are developed throughout the world. They also come to us and ask, what is the market looking for? And a lot of Bahamians are looking for the opportunity to have safe, amenity-rich communities, right?
Quality of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Home is where you're going to spend most of your time outside of work, right? And so you want to be able to enjoy that community, all right? So a swimming pool, especially when you're raising family, a lot of people don't want to maintain their own pool, right? So to have a community pool is very good. Obviously, exercise is another important thing. So that's why the fitness thing as well. Walking trails, things like that, being able to exercise within or without your community. Kids' playground is another one. So, families, thinking young families. So developers are coming and they're asking, hey, what is the community looking for, right? And then obviously Bahamians travel a lot. They watch TV a lot, and they want to be able to enjoy. You work hard. You're paying the bank a lot of money for these homes, right? So why not enjoy it, right? Why not?
Yeah.
And so our philosophy is always to cater to the market. What is the market asking for? It'll be good for us to say we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But if the market doesn't want it, then it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. All right. So one more time, remind folks about Saturday and that they should register.
Yes, we recommend that.
Yeah. Saturday.
So
11?
Saturday coming, 11 to 3, Adelaide Road, Windsor Lakes Open House, directly opposite the eastern gate of Albany. So if you're traveling on the Carl Arbor Road, you drive straight down past Adelaide Village, past Frank Watson Boulevard. We're on the left, Windsor Lakes Open House, this coming Saturday, 11 to 3 p.m. Yeah. Come on out, be able to ask your questions, be able to sit down with the bank to see what you're qualified for. And even if this is not a development for you, community for you, feel free to just pick our brains and see you.
Right. Wow. And again, the website for Maison Bahamas?
That's right. MaisonBahamas.com/Windsor Lakes. For the Still Lake community, the townhouse community, StillLakeBahamas.com.
Excellent.
All right.
Ryan Winters, thank you so much for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Likewise, Dwight. Thank you.
We're going to take a break for news and for business. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio, 96.9.
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris and Rome, but I wanna go home.
Been off the WSC grid for over a year? Now's the time to come back and save big. For a limited time only, the Water and Sewage Corporation is offering up to 50% off reconnection fees for customers disconnected for more than 1 year. Don't miss this chance to reconnect and enjoy reliable, quality water service at a discounted rate. Call 302-5599 to learn more. Water and Sewage Corporation, dedicated to dependable, affordable water solutions.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up and treat yourself to the breakfast you deserve with Wendy's new French toast sticks platter. 4 pieces of golden, crispy French toast sticks served with warm syrup, fresh cracked eggs, your choice of protein, and orange juice. It's sweet, savory, and everything your morning's been missing. Whether you dip, dunk, or just go all in, you'll never want to go back to your old breakfast routine. Better breakfast always starts at Wendy's.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello. This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to business on this Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean, and it is time for our monthly series with Small Business Development Center. And always exciting information and guests we get to meet with them. Alexia Johnson is with us. She's the Communication and Marketing Team Lead with SBDC. Good to see you again. Good morning. Let's get that mic up there. There we go. So the studio, Duquesa, you're missing it. Has been transformed. It is beautiful. We've got a lot of products here, and that's because Portia McCoy from Clean Air Farms is with us this morning, and she's sending this beautiful. Yes, I'm taking lots of pictures. And turn on this our stream, the video stream. You can look and see for yourself. Portia, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Great to be here. Welcome, Bahamas.
All right. So this is a lot. Clean Air Farms. Yeah, Alexi, let's start with her, and then we'll get
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So Clean Air Farms, the products. Tell us the connection. Tell us all about your company and how you got started.
Okay. Portia McCoy Clean Air Farms is a farm-based business dedicated to creating and promoting clean, healthy indoor air quality and environmental sustainability.
Okay, all right. So tell us the connection between some of the jewelry pieces we're seeing and that mission statement that you just told us about.
Okay, the name focuses on natural, eco-friendly farming practices, plant-based plants, herbs, and natural handmade Bahamian products that improve the air quality or contributes to health.
Right. So what inspired you? How did you get started? Why did you decide to do this?
Okay, so I am a nurse, a licensed nurse by profession. Mm-hmm. And on my journey as a nurse in the hospital, I would witness a lot of patients with respiratory issues. I often wonder, I said, yes, we are taking care of we're not taking care of, medication is doing it, but it's a Band-Aid. So I say, I need to do some research. So I did research on what can help heal respiratory issues. Mm-hmm. And I came up with plants such as thyme, rosemary, eucalyptus, lemons. I mean, these are things that we grow right in our yards. It actually breaks up the mucus in our respiratory system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we're losing that connection, right? As we get more advanced, less people even thinking about all of that. So again, how long has it been? When did you start?
This business is only 1 year old.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So what's been the response so far?
People are interested because they say, what is Clean Air Farms? What do you do? I say we are a multifaceted business. Mm-hmm. We focus on people and planet, the earth. So they're interested in it. They want to know what our products are made from. When they look at our product, they said, you actually did this? I said, yes, my family and I, we did this products.
Wow. Okay. So tell us about some of the things. Go on, Duquesa. Mm-hmm.
So, can you share a little bit about, you wanted to give sustainability and, clean air products and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about what may be toxic about the everyday things that we wear that are not made with your type of products? A lot of us wear jewelry or use other products. What are some of the toxins or negative, that's attached to wearing or using those sorts of products?
Okay, for one, air quality. Our products improve the air quality. That's number one. So you ask what's our features. So what's in our products they are made from the earth. Like we have coconut shells jewelry. That's an earth product. We have sand products. We have gemstones. They are all made from the earth. And we have the lava rocks. All of these products are eco-friendly, that goes back to the earth, replenishes the earth, and it's sustainable for the next generation.
Okay. All right. Let's start with some of the things you have here. Some of those things you just mentioned, you've got on display here. Tell us about these. Tell us about what you've put out on the table for us.
Yes, sir. So this right here is Clean Air Farms patent pending natural innovative air purifying formulation. It's made from natural sea salt and natural lava rocks.
Oh, wow.
When you put, and what the salt does, it pulls the impurities from the air, so it helps with purifying the air.
Right.
Now the lava rock, once you put, and the lava rock does the same thing.
And this is sea salt from right here in the Bahamas.
Now our patent pending one is sea salt made from the Bahamas.
Okay.
With another natural resource.
Okay.
I can't give you the
That's your
exclusive
secret.
yet.
Your trade secrets.
Because that's going to come out soon.
Okay.
But once you put this eucalyptus and lemon oil
Yeah.
on your formulation, you're going to have a natural aroma that's going to help with your respiratory system.
Heat it up or anything?
No, it's all
just
natural.
okay.
You need no batteries, no electricity.
Okay.
All natural. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
And you can smell it. You can put, and this here can go on that bracelet there. We also have the necklace that does the same thing. All made from gemstones and lava rock.
Wow.
And what's so beautiful about this? You can have your
Smells
own
really nice.
personalized respiratory healing oil with you. And not only does it helps with respiratory, it also helps with your mind. It relaxes you, relaxes the nervous system.
I'm having some sinus issues. You
Calms
got something for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
this
Can you
is
check
right
one
here.
out?
Yeah.
That's it right here.
You're missing it, DeQuesta. It's beautiful.
No, I'm watching and I'm wondering, like, in the plastic bag,
Put it on.
is it
You
a
see
rock?
this? Okay.
I can put that on this?
Not this wouldn't absorb it,
Oh,
but
because-
mine's would. So
Okay.
you can have one of those, and you can have that for you from Clean Air Farms, and utilize it and see how it works right here, and tell us your experience.
Dwight,
Oh, wow. Okay.
can you hear me, Dwight?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What the plastic bag that she was holding up, does it, I may have missed it, does it have rocks in it? Like, what's in that?
So it's lava rock. So where
Other
is that
rocks,
from?
Okay.
All of these are resources, but not our natural resources. But our plant-based one has our very own natural resources. We're going to talk about that very, very soon.
Okay. And so
What
you
does it smell
just
like, Dwight?
lemon and eucalyptus, you said, right?
Eucalyptus,
Yeah. So
and coconut oil.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it smells really nice. And so you just leave this in the room.
And it's going to fumigate in here. Once, if she comes in, she's going to smell that.
Yeah. Oh, it smells really good.
Yeah, like it's light and it's refreshing. So I'm going to try to explain it.
Yeah.
So it almost not necessarily citrusy, but it has let me see.
So let me see.
Because there's like the lemon aspect to it. So I think that's where that like citrusy part comes in.
It's clearing up my sinuses already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing,
Right.
but it's not overpowering where you're like, you smell it and you're like, oh man, but that's like so heavy. Like I don't want it. So it's really nice.
It's a blend.
And then it's also beautiful to see as well. So it's nice if you want to put it almost as like a centerpiece, like a functional centerpiece,
Yeah.
if you will.
Decor piece.
Okay. So, and you sprinkle it over the lava rocks to get this aroma?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And sea salt.
And sea salt, both.
Okay.
But you remember
Okay.
now, it's working simultaneously. The sea salt is absorbing the impurities out of the air, also the lava rock, but you also have that aroma that you get that is
Okay.
actually healing you, from the inside out.
Okay.
So how did you discover this? How did you learn about this? Did you study it? Did you have to go and do a lot of research?
I did do a research, and my family, I tested at home with my husband and my brothers and my children with their respiratory issues, and all of the mucus Actually, what I did was I put some salt in water and put it over steam. And I put a towel over their head, and all of the mucus would come from their nose. So I say, it's something about salt. It's something about
That's what people
salt.
used to say, right? When you're feeling that way, get to the beach.
Go to the beach, yeah.
Something about
yeah.
salt.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Portia McCoy, okay, you got a whole lot of things here. Tell us about some of these pieces.
Okay, as I was saying, this is our patent pending formula.
Yeah.
These are our earrings that is made from resin, but guess what? They have the coconut fiber in it that gives it that color.
Nice.
These are also coconut earrings. Now we have our pineapple necklace that's made from the natural coconut shell.
Oh, wow.
Also, the turtle is a resin turtle, and the what's that?
Is that a dolphin?
No.
The swordfish?
No.
Okay.
That's our Bahamians, our national
marlin?
fish, blue marlin.
Oh, it's marlin. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
That's the
A
blue
little far
marlin.
from-
And this one I have one is a clip. This is the blue marlin as well.
Okay.
They made that. Natural coconut pieces.
Ah, nice.
And those there are the bracelets that are made from lava rocks and gemstone. And you know what the lava rocks and the gemstone, you know what the gemstone does. That's another healing property within itself.
Tell us more about that. What does it do?
It helps with balance, stillness, keeps your mind, take away like negativity, brings in positivity.
So if I wore like 25 of them on my arm, I could be finally a normal person.
Each one of those, I'm going to say something, but don't question me on it.
Okay.
Each one of those colors represents a different meaning.
Okay.
I'm still studying them. That's why I ask you not to ask me about it.
Okay.
But I'm still studying that.
But you feel it. You can definitely experience it.
Definitely keeps you calm, give you confidence. It's just from God.
Yeah. So how do you know it's a real one? And because a lot of people doing these things, a lot of it's plastic and fake and stuff. How do you know the difference?
Okay, so to tell the difference from fake and real,
Yeah.
you must see those streaks, those black streaks that go through there.
Yeah.
They're real gemstones, and they always go to the. I get a label that says genuine, 100% authentic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. All right. So Alexia,
What
go
about
on.
the essential oils though? How does one determine the quality of any oil?
Question. Like I said earlier, when I purchase from my chain suppliers, I make sure they have a organic, 100% label. So my oils are 100% coconut oils. So we're farming now coconut oils. So soon we'll be processing our own coconut oils and our own eucalyptus and lemon oils.
Excellent.
Everything is 100%.
Wow. So how many people are involved in your operation, your business?
Just right now, it's just my family and myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any workers.
Yeah.
This is a small business. Just 1 year old. I would wish that I could hire 3 persons right now for the production. I need production.
I bet. All right. So Alexia, this is where can we find these products?
So, firstly, presently, you can reach out to Portia and check out the Clean Air Farms pages on social media. But in just a few weeks, you will be able to find Clean Air Farms on Tingsy. So Portia is and Clean Air Farms is actually one of our vendors on the Tingsy platform. So you'd be able to shop all of her products.
I have missed our previous conversations what Tingsy is all about.
Absolutely. So Tingsy, that's Tingsy. Tingsy Bahamas is the SBDC's e-commerce marketplace. And this is how we are able to highlight uniquely Bahamian products so that our vendors can sell both locally and internationally.
Yeah.
So we're focusing on not necessarily businesses where you're reselling, let's say, an iPhone, but you're creating handmade jewelry, necklaces, maybe crocheting something. Those are the types of businesses that we're looking for to really amplify what is unique about the Bahamas and being able to share that.
And Clean Air Farm seems like it was tailor-made for Tingsy, right?
Honestly, if I didn't know any better, I would think that she'd heard about what Tingsy was and then started, but I know that's not what happened.
Right. This is amazing. So can you give us any better idea of the timeline for when we're going to finally launch Tingsy?
I would say, it's currently May, because we're planning to launch by the end of spring, beginning of summer. So we're
It's only
in
a few
the
weeks away. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I can't say the exact date, just because I know we've had. See, you said a date. This is not the date, but in a few short weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And
Great
we're pretty
stuff.
excited for that. We're in the process of developing what that launch will look like and having something engaging for people to come in to even be able to meet some of our vendors. So that'll be a really nice experience.
How do people sign up to be a vendor? What do they need?
Absolutely. So to sign up to be a vendor, you would go to tingsybahamas.com. So that's Ting, TINGCSEA, Bahamas.com. And you can check out some of the information, see what costs are involved, what other information you may have questions about the platform, what is required of you, and then you're able to give us your information, and then we will have a team member reach out to you. Yeah. I'm sure Portia may agree. We have some of the most helpful team members that are working on the Tingsy platform. So it's a great opportunity. Just reach out to us. We'll be able to answer any questions that you may have about the platform and what are the benefits for you and your business.
Okay. All right. So Portia, can people make a request like, I need this? This is what my problem is. Can you specifically make something for me, or is it just the line that you have now?
I always tell my clients, you must check with your doctor first.
Okay.
Because these are all plant-based, and we don't want nothing to interfere with your medication and your plant-based items. Yes, to answer your question, I can definitely supply what your symptoms are and help you manage your condition.
Yeah. So you're saying that some of the jewelry could possibly interfere with some of the stuff, or depending on what your conditions are? Or what is it? Or the oils? What could do that?
The oils.
The oils. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we are a farm, and we do produce like herbs and vegetables as well, and we make teas. But that's another story for another time.
Okay. All right. So I get you now. DeQuesta, you were saying something.
Yeah, but I don't remember. What I wanted to find out, because I had asked earlier, like, what are some of the toxins that we need to look out for generally? Like, when the nurse was talking, she spoke about the fact that we take care of symptoms, right? And so there are underlying things that are triggered by other things. In producing this line of products that are natural and that are, that can assist you, like, what toxins is it eliminating from being around us, like on our skin where we wear the jewelry, or our perfume or whatever? Like, what are we trying to move away from to replace this with?
Okay, so you asked about the toxins in the air. We do know that we have mold. This can help absorb the mold from the air. Now, what I would say, it's still being tested and it's still under research. But you can look up this on the internet, science-based. This is what salt does. It removes moisture from the air. Also remember, we have seasonal allergies. So we have persons who have asthma, who are asthmatics, who have respiratory conditions. So having a clean indoor air can help them.
Okay.
Now the jewelry, you asked about the jewelry. Most of the jewelry is old. So we're now looking at the waste management. It's helping the jewelry, the coconut shell jewelry is recycled. So it's not too much helping your skin as much as it's helping the environment.
Yeah.
So this is a whole combination of different things happening here.
Okay.
People, planet.
Yeah. Excellent. So how often would you need to replace, if you got the salt and the lava rocks, replace or add more oil to it in order to be effective?
You can add as needed.
Okay.
And
I would give you two to 3 days.
Yeah.
But you might not think that.
Yeah.
As needed, as
So
you think.
could I keep it in here indefinitely, or will there be a point where the salt will need to be replaced with new salt, or how does that work?
Well, I'm sure over time, if you put this in the sun, this is going to melt.
Yeah. So if it's a hot place,
So
it'll
yeah,
be
just
an
keep it
issue.
in nice, cool areas where the breeze is blowing or the air conditioner is here.
Okay.
This one you can keep and keep it right in his office.
Yeah. It's can it get rid of spirits as well, like talk show
well, I will tell you
nonsense talk, absorb the.
Once you praise the Lord in the name of Jesus.
Dwight, you're really looking for miracles, right?
Yes. You call the name of Jesus.
Okay.
Miracles
All right.
happen.
All right, excellent. Remind people how they can reach you, how to get more information about what you're doing.
Very good. Thank you. So you can reach Clean Air Farms on Facebook, Clean Air Farms 242, Instagram, Clean Air 242. You can contact us 437-4663 on WhatsApp. And also, we have a website.
Give us that.
So our website is bahafarmtohealth.com.
Baja Farm
To health.
to Health.
.com.
The number 2 or
The number 2.
number 2 health. Okay, excellent. Great stuff. Alexia, all your vendors going to be as exciting as Portia McCoy?
I don't know. I think they may be as interesting, but in their own different ways.
Right, okay.
Like we have a range of different clients, and they are offering different products, but they're excited. The excitement is the same.
Yeah.
So will you
So
be
we're
bringing them
excited.
all on?
My best, Aquessa. I'm trying to see if I can rally everybody together, but I'm starting off with Portia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent stuff. And we can't wait for the Tingsy launch.
Yes.
Looking
Yes.
forward to that. And this is a product of something that's time has come, definitely, to find these
I have
authentically
an unrelated
products.
question, Dwight.
Unrelated. Okay.
Yeah, to SPDC.
Yes.
So the last time you were on the show, you were talking about the event that you were going to be hosting in the Golden Gates constituency.
Yes.
It sounded so excited. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went?
Absolutely. So that was Level Up, and Level Up is one of our initiatives that we host on a quarterly basis with our partners at Alive Business. So this was I think it may have been the second time in Golden Gates. But prior to this one, I think we were in Bain and Grantstown. So this one in particular was different because we also had the pitch competition. And I think we were teasing the pitch competition the last time that we were here with you all. So we actually had our top 3 winners. So they were in the beauty, fashion, and healthcare industries. But it was focused on young entrepreneurs. And it was exciting to watch them present with so much energy. That might just be the focus of the day, energy in different ways, because each of the presenters were just excited to share about their business, and to see entrepreneurs at such a young age have such well fleshed out ideas. They were ready to defend their businesses and
15
explain.
to 25?
15 to 25. Yes.
Wow.
That was shocking, because I'm like, y'all are making me look bad. I was like, I need to catch up to you guys. So it's really exciting to see that. They did receive funding through the Honorable Pia Glover Roll.
Okay,
So
excellent.
she supported those entrepreneurs. But Level Up proper was the entrepreneurial training, and that was really dynamic. We had more than 100 entrepreneurs that came out to that, and they were able to ask questions. So they had presentations where they spoke about NIB, inland revenue. Our partners at MacAssist were there. So it covered the entire entrepreneurial experience, from startup, or I'm just thinking about it, to I'm an entrepreneur, but now I'm thinking about scaling up. How can I do that?
Amazing. I can't get over how our studio smells like a spa now.
Yes.
It's wonderful. My sinus is having a rough day today. All right, so tell us about what's next for SBDC over the next few months, other than Tingsy.
Yes.
What else is going to be going on?
What's not going on, right? So we recently announced our Crafting the Bahamas initiative, and that is the latest, I would say, installation of our Creative Entrepreneurs initiative. So I know we said that we were escaping Tingsy. That's not true. This year's Crafting the Bahamas initiative is actually powered by Tingsy. So it's giving these creative entrepreneurs within the orange economy an opportunity to display their products on the Tingsy platform, and also learning more about technology and innovation in a way that they can see how they can make their business sustainable and long lasting through that technology or that innovation.
Excellent.
We started the training for that. Today's Tuesday. We started the training for that yesterday.
Okay.
We have a wide range of entrepreneurs for that one as well,
Yeah.
not only in New Providence and Grand Bahama, but we have some represented throughout the other family islands as well. As part of this initiative, there will also be, there's not only the training, not only the mentorship, we're taking something that we hosted as part of last year's initiative. So during the application process for this program, entrepreneurs were able to vote for which types of crafts they would like to be able to run a business in, or something they would like to learn, like a skill.
Okay.
So we're looking at that information, and we're actually putting together some actual crafting workshops. And those will be, I don't have the topics for those as yet because they're still looking at the information since we just started.
Right.
But I'm excited to see, because I know last year we did the Junkanoo head pieces, we did candle making, so using essential oils and things like that. So the naturally sourced products throughout the Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited to see what we come up with this year. I may sign up for a few classes here and there.
Right. Okay. All
Nice,
right.
yeah.
Very exciting stuff. And again, how can people find out more about what is going on at SBDC and
So-
all that you offer?
So I would say check out our social media. If you want the latest information straight to you, our social media. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok now, and our pages are all SBDC Bahamas. Our website is sbdcbahamas.com. And then you can also feel free to give our office a call. Our team is extreme. Number is 461-7232. So that's 461-SBDC.
Yeah. Okay. Alexia Johnson, exciting stuff. And again, Portia McCoy, let people know how they can reach you one more time for Clean Air Farms.
Okay, Portia McCoy, Clean Air Farms. Contact us, 437-4663. Facebook, Instagram, website.
Yeah. And that website again, Baja Farm to
Health. .com.
Okay.
I just wanted to say something about Teensy, can I?
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
Yes, and I just want to thank God for a favor from man and God and my family and Small Business Development Center for being my eyes, for being my hands. You walked with me through this. You never gave up. Even when I gave up on myself, I just want to thank you all for being there for me.
Absolutely.
And Tingsy Bahamas is an exclusive online marketplace designed to connect your business and my business with global customers.
Okay. All right. Betsy, you got an advertiser for Tingsy right here. We're looking forward to this. It's going to be exciting, and folks are going to be able to really get their hands on your products, Portia. So the next few months are going to be very exciting. We appreciate it, and thank you, Portia, for cleaning our ear here in the studio. We're going to take a break and be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business. Time went by very quickly, eh?
Very.
On this Tuesday morning. Stay with us.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk.
Which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turn tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Have you already tried our President Butter? Ooh la la. Indulge a little with President, because now more than ever, we need to savor the taste, textures, and feelings to truly enjoy the little things that mean the most. President Butter, something to savor.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to craft personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options, and let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. AML Foods Limited has begun the demolition of its Solomon's Old Trail and Costrite stores here in Nassau that were destroyed in a fire last month. The company saying yesterday that it has also begun removing debris from the site. Relevant government departments and authorities to ensure that the process moves forward on schedule and with minimal disruption to nearby schools, businesses, and residential areas. It also says a priority will be given to accessing and removing any organic matter that remains in the building. According to AML, the demolition and site clearing will take 90 days. On April 14th, a massive fire ravaged the buildings as well as the newly constructed Department of Labor office off of East-West Highway. The fire injured 3 firefighters at one point, and an explosion occurred. Bahamian marine ecologist Alana Velicott is calling for the environmental protection of marine resources in the central Exuma Keys, citing the preservation of what she calls a unique and exceptional coastal environment. Velicott's comments coming after she spent a day diving and assessing the conditions of marine life around Samson Key, the site of a proposed project by investment and real estate development firm Integra Group. They're planning on constructing a Rosewood hotel, and the project calls for substantial dredging and potentially disruption of wetlands and thriving coral reefs. Velicott, a member of Save Exuma Alliance C, opposes the Integra Rosewood project by C, urging the halt of the project has now attracted more than 2,000 signatures. And 8 technology businesses have been rewarded by the government after they designed digital solutions to correct operational issues in several government agencies. That's according to the Digital Transformation Unit within the Ministry of Economic Affairs. We're told the initiative welcomed Bahamian entrepreneurs to develop digital solutions with the goal of transforming the delivery of public services, and establishes part of the government's digital transformation to strengthen competitiveness initiative. The conclusion of the program signifies the government's $1 million commitment to leveraging technology to deliver citizen-focused public sector reform. Overseas, Tesla sales across Europe plunging by half last month, even as growth in the electric car market picked up pace. That's according to data released today. The numbers are the latest indication of how much the Tesla brand is suffering because of the backlash against billionaire CEO Elon Musk over his far-right views. Sales of Tesla vehicles in 32 European countries tumbled 49% to 7,261 in April from the same month the previous year. That's according to figures released by the European Automobile Manufacturers Association. At the same time, sales of battery electric vehicles by all manufacturers rose about 28%. Meanwhile, sales of gasoline and diesel-powered cars slumped. The figures, which cover the European Union's 27 member countries and 5 other nations outside the bloc, back up the early data from Sweden, the Netherlands, and Denmark released at the start of the month that had pointed to a sales collapse. And NPR, National Public Radio in the U.S., and 3 local stations are filing a lawsuit against U.S. President Donald Trump, arguing that an executive order aimed at cutting federal funding for the organization is illegal. The lawsuit, filed in federal court in Washington by NPR and Colorado Public Radio, Aspen Public Radio, and KUTE, argues that Trump's executive order to slash public subsidies to PBS and NPR violates the First Amendment. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. APD Limited moving 115 shares, closing at 44.64 unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 5,013 unchanged at 489. Galena Holdings moving 100, closing at 1240 unchanged. Finco moving 705 unchanged at $15.05. Consolidated Water down 1 cent to 5.36. And Emira Incorporated up 7 cents to 11.05. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,044.35, up 0.06. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back with Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. So again, as we said, SBDC is always a lot going on, and there's even more. Alexia has more to tell us. We've got about a minute. Alexia Johnson, we've got more going on this week alone.
Yes. So this weekend, following our Exuma Town Hall, we will also be in Eleuthera this weekend, a 2-day entrepreneurial clinic. Okay. We will be at the Harbor Island Library on Friday and Saturday. That's in partnership with the One Eleuthera Foundation. Mm-hmm. So we will be hosting an entrepreneurial clinic.
What does that mean? What does an entrepreneurial clinic do, and what happens?
So these are one-on-one SBDC engagements. So if you have questions about anything that you're working on with the SBDC, this is an opportunity to meet with our island's advisor for the island of Eleuthera and to have your questions answered, and also to gain any assistance if you're trying to fill out any of the applications or something like that. And also just to learn a little bit more about different steps you can take to progress as an entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a more intimate setting where you can speak directly with our island advisor and also representatives from our partner organization.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. And that's going to be happening in the next few weeks. But there's always a whole lot more. And again, give us that website to find out more information.
For more information, it is sbdcbahamas.com. And as a reminder, the entrepreneurial clinic for North Eleuthera and Harbor Island is this Friday and Saturday. So feel free to visit us at the Harbor Island Library. And you can find more information both on our website, sbdcbahamas.com, or on our social media, SBDC Bahamas.
Okay. Alexia Johnson, thanks again. We'll see you next month.
Yes.
And once again to Portia McCoy, who was here earlier with Clean Air Farms. Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. DeQuesta Dean, thank you. I'll talk with you again next week.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be back.
Until then.
I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. Next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.